This is gonna blow your mind. We don't shy away from the tough stuff. Join the debate every Monday. Join us on the Shorty Logic podcast every Monday at 8 Eastern, 7 Central. We break down the hot topics, challenge the status quo, and want you in the conversation. Follow, like, and subscribe on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. Don't miss a single episode.
What up, everyone? This is the Shorty Logic podcast. I am Shorty Logic, the CEO. Here are my co-hosts tonight.
Hi, everyone. This is Blessed. Hope everybody's doing well.
Next.
What up, everybody? This is Motivation Monday. This is Night Bright.
Hello, this is Peggy.
With Sarge at? But I guess I guess something going on his phone. But anyway, tonight we got an interesting conversation tonight. The topic is what are deal breakers when forming a blended family? This topic came to me, and when I started doing my little research on it, I mean, now I was thinking about. I'm saying it's really common because a lot of people have blended family. People come in, the man come in already have kids, the woman already have come kids. You know what I'm saying? So it's really crazy situation. So I'm going to start with the first video.
If you're a mom in a blended family and you feel like setting boundaries makes you the villain or it makes you mean, you actually have it backwards. Boundaries aren't walls, they're doors. A wall says, stay out of here, but a door says, here's how we can connect. What happens a lot of times in blended families is people think that boundaries are mean, so they avoid setting those. Kids walk all over you, the ex-partner runs the schedule, your marriage starts to feel like it's on the edge. You're resentful and exhausted, wondering if you're ever going to feel like this is going to be normal. But I need you to understand that boundaries are not pushing people away. They're actually pulling the right version of people closer to you. They create safety, they create trust. And that is exactly what your kids, your marriage, and your sanity needs. So no, you are not the bad guy for drawing a line in the sand. You're actually giving your family the best shot at something that's going to last. If setting boundaries makes you feel a little uncomfortable, I used to be the exact same way. That's something that I help women in my group coaching with all the time. I'd love to help you too. Shoot me a message if you're interested.
So with that video right there, so Peggy, since this is your topic you bring up, so what is your input about blended family and the boundaries, and also about the video?
Well, the video, it kept breaking up. I really couldn't. I heard bits and pieces.
Okay.
But it's like, I understand. I heard the part about the wall. That does make sense. When you have a wall, that means you can't get through. There's nothing, like that. But blended families is a very hard. It can be hard and easy, but nowadays it's kind of hard because a lot of when you're blended, you're already coming from a one-parent home instead of two being married and divorced and then coming. So it's like they're not used to that male dominant, or they cannot be used to that female dominant. So it's like a lot of kids are stuck in their ways, and it's just a hard thing on my end to deal with because of my 5-year-old.
Okay.
And it's like, not that she's, wild or anything like that, but it's just different because she knows who her dad is. But now this is a new man that's been in her life for 3 years. And it's like, Mommy, where's my dad? I can't tell her, don't say that, can't do this and all that. And it's just a lot. It's so different. It's so different now.
Okay.
So I'm just trying to navigate.
Okay, Ms. Bless, what's your input on that? Oh, can't hear you. You, Mika, you're unmute yourself.
Can y'all hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Okay. I would say my input on blended families is this. You have to respect each other's boundaries. Y'all have to have that hard conversation. You have to understand that when you're coming into the home and you're bringing, it's called baggage. Let's just be honest. Whether it's good or bad, you're bringing your feelings, you're bringing the emotion, you're bringing sometimes other children. With that being said, I look at it like y'all have to sit down and have that hard conversation about what will you accept and what you won't accept. Because some people don't like other people correcting their children. Let's just be honest. Some people don't even make their children respect them. So with that being said, you got to have those conversations to where, okay, listen, in my life, I don't allow my children to disrespect me and walk over me. So if that's the type of situation you have, then we're going to have a conversation because I'm not going to let your children run over me just because they run over you. You know, you
Right.
have those type of situations. You have situations where your child could be doing something crazy and your significant other sees it and they may be like, hey, stop, don't do that. And then you might feel some type of way because they've corrected your child. So I feel like that's a conversation that people really need to have before they blend families. Because at the end of the day, sometimes we got these women out here that don't even control what they already have, the children they have, and then they want to bring a man into the situation, or vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's a man that is already having children, and you bring a woman into your life, and the woman may not already have children. Maybe they do have kids. Then that means they're bringing their children into your situation as long as, and you're bringing yours into theirs. So maybe the kids don't get along. It's so many different situations. Maybe the kids do get along. You have so many different situations when you're blending a family. But you
Right.
have to be open minded, sit down. You have to come to some type of consensus. Because at the end of the day, if your children don't like him or her, it's already going to be an issue, especially
Right.
if they're older children, because they're going to always try to make a wave and stand in between or start some kind of foolishness just so you won't be with this person. So y'all have to be strong enough to be able to say, hey, listen, this is my life. I'm going to respect you, but at the same time, you have to respect me and my situation. And y'all have to just really talk about it. And, because everybody has opinions. The children, people think, oh, they're kids. They don't have opinions. That's not true. If the child does not like that person, they're going to show it and they're going to feel it. Then they're
Right.
going to feel betrayed by you because you chose them over them, is how they're going to feel. So you really have to sit down and maybe take them out to dinner, maybe get everybody together, his children, your children, if he has or if she has, and then go out maybe for some pizza or something fun, go to an arcade, spend some time and get to know each other and see how y'all vibe together, because every family is not meant to be blended. I'm just gonna say what it is.
This is true. This is so true. I agree with everything you saying because that was a mouthful, but it's same crazy. Like I've seen some videos that said the exact same thing you're
Mm-hmm.
saying. Night right. Unmute yourself and get your input on this. What is your thought about the blending of family?
I feel like boundaries are very important. You know,
For what?
for a blended family, so that you could basically understand what you're getting into,
Okay.
what the religion is, how they do holidays, how they do everything. Just all off the gate, just talk about those things that are very important to you. So some people don't celebrate holidays, some people do.
That actually, that's true. You really think about this. Some people who don't celebrate holidays, some people who do. Who
Mm-hmm.
some holidays is bigger to people in their family than other holidays.
Mm-hmm.
It just all depends on that type of family. So
That's true.
we I do got some key. I got some key boundaries. That can deal breakers. So I'm gonna post them up one by one because a lot of
Sounds
people don't
like what I
understand.
just was saying.
Yeah.
Hmm.
See. Yeah.
Yes, misunderstanding and failures to be honest with each other and the children, not being respectful to the parent and family members. Same thing I was just saying.
Yeah. Because
Because some people do not respect their own parents, and how can you expect them to respect your significant other if they don't respect you?
that's big. Oh, big fast. That's Miss Blessing. You don't want to not see.
It's just the truth. Assuming all family members will instantly bond or love each other. Facts. Expecting a step parent to immediately replace the role of the biological parent. There we go.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you, sometimes,
Oh.
but not respecting personal
No, go
space.
ahead.
Sometimes I was gonna say, sometimes we date people, and the people we date, it may sound crazy, but I know we've all been there, may not have children or not necessarily want to be a parent. They may want you and not want children. Things like this happen all the time. We sometimes find ourselves in that situation where you're attracted to somebody and you start dating them, and you don't know how they feel until you have that whole conversation. Because let's say you meet somebody, you're vibing with him, and the first thing most people do not do is put their, oh, I've got X amount of kids, this, that, and the third. Sometimes when you first meeting somebody, that may not be the first conversation to come up, because you may not want to let them into your psyche, your circle like that, to where you want them knowing all your personal business. You might be thinking, shit, this is just somebody I'm going to kick it with. That ain't somebody I want in my personal life. So with that being said, say things get, start getting stronger, feelings get stronger. You like, well, damn, you know what? Let's have this conversation. I've got X amount of kids. And he might be like, well, damn, I ain't never heard you talk about them. I ain't know you had them. That's not where I am. You just never know. That's why it's really important to be upfront and know what you want. I mean, and know what the other person wants. You have to have those conversations.
And I agree with that, but even if it's someone, even if to me, if it's someone I'm just kicking it with, they're gonna know that I have kids. I have kids, and so they're gonna know that I have obligations somewhere else.
Yeah, and sometimes they do, but I'm saying that all people don't speak on that. Believe it or not, all people don't speak on that. I know it sounds crazy, but look, I'm telling you from experience. I thought my husband had 4 kids. I found out he had 5. Hello, come on, let's be honest. I did not know, and it's like people only going to share with you what they want you to know.
Right. I got 3 more to put up.
Hold on, Peggy was trying to say something.
Go ahead, Peggy.
Yeah, because when I met the person that I'm with now, he didn't know that I had a young child. They didn't expect it. And so, like I told him, my first thing that I said to him when he did approach me and I decided to give him my number, I have a young kid that is under 5. Now she is 5, but it's from years ago. And I said, she is my number 1 priority. She's in my bed. That's what I told him. She's in my bed. And some people at a certain age don't want to deal with someone with little kids because they just want to up and go. But I didn't take his choice away. I let him make that choice. If he wanted to be there and understand that when he made that choice, he made that choice to do what I needed to do and what I have to do as well. Not right then and there, but when we started building and we said we're exclusive, we're together, this and this and all that. So he made that choice to say, I can do this. So I hold him accountable for that because I never took his choice away.
Exactly.
Okay.
And that's exactly what I'm saying. You just, until you know you're ready to actually dive in and be with that person, then some things, some things just you're not going to say. Then, I mean, if you just, I'm going to tell you right now, if I'm just messing with you and I'm not serious about you, it's just something for fun, my kids ain't your business. If in my mind, you're just what it is, if this is just what it is, and I'm not getting serious about you and I don't think I am, my kids ain't your business. Now, if I feel like we're going to take that next step, then yeah, absolutely. This is what my life is like outside of you.
And I can respect how you thought right there. But I can respect it because if you just it is what it is, just a fuck thing, whatever. I mean, now I get it. But just to me, anyone I get, I don't give it. I don't care. This is me, and this is how I roll. No matter if it's a link up or a sneaker link, whatever, you're gonna know I'm gonna have a child.
Okay, and I get that. Yeah. But my thing is this: I got little girls, so at the end of the day, you can't bring her back around your kids.
No. It's not about. No, I'm not saying. I'm not saying to bring anyone, but it's gonna. Even if I meet someone, if I'm getting to know someone just about online, you're going to know because that's a conversation. Going to be a natural conversation. That's a natural conversation. If you have kids, so yes, I have a kid. It's not. I'm not saying I'm bringing anyone around my child, but you will know that I have a child.
Oh, I can see that. Like I said, different strokes for different folks. Everybody's different. It's been times when I tell somebody, it's been times I have not.
Well, like when I went out Friday to see Cat Williams, one thing we talked about is I know that she got kids and she has a daughter at home and I have a daughter at home. You
Mm-hmm.
know, another, and nothing like that. But just like what Shorty was saying, I ain't got no problem telling you I got a child,
Mm-hmm.
What?
and she's a girl.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not gonna have just anybody around or anything else.
Mm-hmm. And I get that. I'm not saying don't get me wrong. I'm not saying don't tell people you have children. I'm saying it depends on the situation we're in. If I'm just calling you up because I want to call you up for that moment, ain't none of your business if I got kids. Because that's not where we at.
Oh yeah, he just coming to beat you back in. I
That's not
got it.
where we at.
I'm with my
No, I'm just
boy.
being honest.
But
Because
hey,
I
you
have
know
people
something?
out here
Don't be.
like that.
But
If
I,
I'm
I,
just
I,
calling
I've
you
I've
because I
had them
want to scratch your
situations too.
itch, it ain't none of your business what I got.
Right, right. We just come taking my business, and you got to go.
And go on out my door. But then there's
Yeah,
been a situation where it's just grown shit. We talking grown shit right now. But then if it's a type of situation where, okay, I want to get to know you and I see something in you, okay, that's a conversation we're gonna have. Because now
well,
I'm gonna bring you into my world.
But
well, I'm
but
a.
hold on, Mark. But now I get that, because I've been in those situations too. But a lot of times when you get in conversation with people, saying even before you decide that it's just gonna be that, conversations are had,
Oh,
and
absolutely,
and
conversations I have.
conversations gonna have, and
Mm-hmm.
do you got kids? It's a conversation gonna be whether it, because I don't think a lot of times, I don't think people just set out and say, okay, well, you just gonna be my fuck partner. You know what I'm saying? I
But
think so. I think a lot, because if you just talking on the phone,
Mm-hmm.
and then y'all, once you get used to talking to that person, then y'all
Mm-hmm.
start looking up, because you ain't just gonna get on the phone person and start fucking that person.
No, no,
Y'all
no,
gonna
no,
have,
no,
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 so I'm
no.
saying, y'all gonna have
I mean, it probably
conversations.
could happen, but no.
Well, I'm saying, but y'all gonna have it can happen, but but I'm saying though,
it, it definitely, it, it
nine
definitely can
times out of
happen now.
10,
Thank you, sir.
yeah,
It could
nine, yeah,
definitely
it can
happen.
happen, but 9 times out of 10, y'all
And,
don't been on the phone just talking, is just
Right.
just talking and talking, and conversation on the kids. You're gonna say, oh, I do have a kid,
If
I do
that's
have
where
a
you
kid.
at with it mentally. If that's
but
where
you
Yeah,
you
know
at with it
something?
mentally.
I got an older child, and this was yesterday morning. She heard me talking to my buddy about my date, and she came and she asked me. She's 16, and she like, Daddy, um, can you tell me what your age is?
I think his thing don't
I'm
went
gonna say
out.
I couldn't hear it.
Yeah, I think he's done went out. Let me get this last three out.
Now respecting personal space and time, allowing children to feel they must choose between the biological parent and the new family. Yep.
What you Let's go to the next one.
Different rules of parenting styles between the biological parent and the step parent. Perceive and real favoritism between biological children and stepchildren. Yep.
That's a real thing right there. When I
That
see,
is a
that,
real
that's a
thing.
real thing
Let
right
me
there.
tell y'all something about
Hold
that
on.
real quick.
Hey,
I know people that treat the other person's children better than they do their own. And that's
I've
crazy to me.
never seen it, but I've heard it.
Shit. Lived it. I'm telling you. I know people. I'm just gonna say what it is. They care more about the people, children they dealing with than their own children.
And
And that's crazy. But
yeah,
it
and man, I can see the, let's say, I've heard situations that way, and I've heard stuff like that, but I've heard and actual seeing, of course, they're gonna, if you're in a relationship or whatever y'all gonna do, like be together, and y'all both have kids. I've seen that they take their biological kids better than the step kids.
I mean but
And
don't get
I
me
don't
wrong.
and to me, I don't believe in the
Mhm.
step kids thing. Once you when we're together, we together, know together. You're not a step kid. You are my child.
Yeah, and see, that's my whole thing. I am a firm believer that I try to treat mine the same way I treat theirs. Now, if they have the type of children that just decide that they, for whatever reason, don't want to come around, don't want to deal with me,
Mm-hmm.
ain't nothing
Fine.
I can do with that. But at the same time, I'm not going to mistreat them because I'm with him. I'm gonna offer them the same respect. If I take my kids out to dinner and they're around, hey, y'all want to go with us, even if they're not around, I'm gonna tell him, hey, call your kids, see if they want to do this, that, and the third. And if he says yes, they want to do it, let's do it. If they say no, we don't want to do it, you don't have to do it. I'm not forcing anything on anyone. But at the same time, I'm going to show them the same respect I show mine. That's who I am. If I buy something for one, I always try to buy for the other, especially if they're all around. I'm not going to just be like, hey, I'm going to go get my kids. It's like all the kids been in the room and they're all hungry. I wish the hell I would be like, oh, I'm going to take my kids over here and feed them. What you going to do with yours? Like, I wish the hell I would.
Right.
That's ridiculous to me. I would never.
Yeah, I don't
I would
like.
never.
And go back to what you were saying. When like person have the man got a kid, the woman had kids. Even one don't have no kids, whatever, and y'all come together, y'all become a family, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there are things like I've seen people let their children dictate the relationship.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
I do agree that if y'all decide y'all gonna be together, y'all should talk to, if the kids are old enough, you know what I'm saying, had a conversation with them and let them know this is what's going on. And I would have that conversation, but you're not gonna dictate it.
Right. Now, I'm not going to let my children dictate my relationship. However, the person you're with does need to take the initiative to get to know the
Facts.
children and be around and, make yourself accessible. For if they do want to talk to you, if they in a room, speak to them. Don't just walk in, walk by and stuff like that. I mean, you got to make yourself accessible as well. Because at the end of the day, it does put a hurting on your relationship. Because what is going to happen is that children are going to come to the woman or the man or whoever it is, and they're going to be like, so this is who you chose. He won't even speak to us, or she won't even speak to us. So you got to think, at the end of the day, you're making them feel, especially if you're moving into their home, you're
Mhm.
making them feel some kind of way in their home, because they're like, okay, so you brought this person around us. This person don't even speak to us. He walked by like we're not even there. Or he'll walk by and say something smart or make little comments under his breath. Like, you gotta think, and that's putting a barrier on your relationship.
I can
It's
see that.
making it harder, because then she's looking at it like, damn, I love my kids, I love him, but he's making it uncomfortable for them in their house. So what do you do with this situation?
I can see that. Now, I can see if he just making it uncomfortable. Maybe if he just making it uncomfortable, then that's a conversation you need to have with him and let him know, hey,
Absolutely.
this is what's going on. This is how the kids are feeling. This is how I'm feeling. I love
Mm-hmm.
you, but I love my kids. But we don't
Mm-hmm.
need divided to be division in this home. So
Exactly.
I do see that. I do
Mm-hmm.
see that.
And people got to understand that, because it does
I got a
definitely
video.
happen. Mm-hmm.
Hold on, I got a video coming.
So psychologically, that marriage is only going to be as successful as those children are comfortable. Yes, biblically, the marriage is first. But if y'all do not merge those kids in a healthy, successful way and have conversations with those kids involved, they going to run y'all through it.
Yep.
They're going to cause problems. I've had to counsel so many blended families because nobody talked to those kids. Two people just fell in love, saw each other, and then say, everybody move in together. This your new mama, this your new daddy. Y'all, respect the fact that these children got a brain. And they're sitting up here like, okay, you're not with my mama no more. You're not with my daddy no more. He a new person. And you telling me all of a sudden they in authority over me. They get to tell me what to do. And I'm supposed to love and respect them just because you fell in love with them.
Mhm.
Y'all need a conversation with these babies. You need to explain some things. Yes, you're going to have rules in the house, but that new stepmama or stepdaddy has to build a relationship built on love and trust with that child first. You got them running in, being mean, being extra cold and hard to that child is going to resent them and resent you for doing that.
Mhm.
Unblock yourself, Mika. Mika, unmute yourself. There you go.
Yeah, that goes back to what I said. All families don't need to be blended, because sometimes a man is going to tell you, and you got to watch out for this too. Sometimes a man is going to tell you, "Oh, baby, yes, I'm gonna accept you, and I know it's a package deal. I'm gonna accept you, and I'm gonna accept your children, da da da," and it sound good, as long as everything's going right. As soon as it get hard, first thing out of their mouth is, "Man, them your kids. It's this, it's that." And it shouldn't be that way. If you accept me, you should accept them as well. That's why I'm very careful about who I want to bring around my children. Just for the simple fact that everything glitter ain't gold. Sometimes they'll tell you, oh, yeah, I love you. I love your baby, just in the third. But then start paying attention to your kids, because your kids will tell you. Your kids will tell you, Mama, I don't like him. I don't like the way he treats us when whatever the situation is. When you walk up the room, he gives us an ugly look. Like, you never really know. You have to pay attention to that type of stuff.
I can see that.
Mm-hmm.
Peggy, what is your input on the video?
It didn't play on my end.
Oh,
Only
wow.
thing I heard is that she said,
I'll play it again, just for everyone out there that didn't hear it.
So psychologically, that marriage is only going to be as successful as those children are comfortable. Yes, biblically, the marriage is first. But if y'all do not merge those kids in a healthy, successful way and have conversations with those kids involved, they're going to run y'all through it.
Yep.
They're going to cause problems. I've had to counsel so many blended families because nobody talked to those kids. Two people just fell in love, saw each other, and then say, everybody move in together. This your new mama, this your new daddy. Y'all, respect the fact that these children got a brain. And they're sitting up here like, okay, you're not with my mama no more. You're not with my daddy no more. He a new person. And you telling me all of a sudden they in authority over me. They get to tell me what to do. And I'm supposed to love and respect them just because you fell in love with them.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all need a conversation with these babies. You need to explain some things. Yes, you're going to have rules in the house, but that new stepmama or stepdaddy has to build a relationship built on love and trust with that child first. You got them running in, being mean, being extra cold and hard to that child is going to resent them and resent you for doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Peggy, hit unmute.
okay.
Did you
Now,
hear
can
the
you hear
video
me?
then? Yeah.
Yeah, I heard majority of it. Yes, and that is so true. And that's why I'm going the way that I'm going now, because I learned that by my youngest daughter's dad, by just moving in very quickly. That's why the person that I'm with now has been 2.5 years. And no, we're not under the same roof, because I'm going to take my time with that. And make sure, yes, we're good and everything like that, but I do have kids and I have a granddaughter, and so I have to be very careful, because once it's a different lifestyle when you're living in two separate homes and then versus under the same roof.
True.
It's very different. So I have to be very cautious of that, no matter how good we are out, everywhere else, and then here some one day, here over there one day. When you're 365 24/7, that's something totally different.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just taking my time on that part, and I'm not going to rush, but I did make sure that I tell them, and I told him, these are my kids and you're going to follow my suit. However I treat them and talk to them, that's how you're supposed to do it. And I tell them, you're going to respect the person that I'm with, because of how he treats me and how he makes your mom feel. So you have to follow that suit as well. So that I did tell my kids, and we did have a conversation. We talked, because we do have family meetings and all that stuff. We've been having that. And so, like I told them, y'all opinions and y'all feelings are valid. So it does matter.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not going to base because you're mad because you're 23 years old and you can go out here and date whoever you want to, and you don't live here, and now you mad because I'm dating somewhere else. No, I'm not going to say, well, no, I can't date you because my daughter's mad or my son is mad. No, I'm not going to do that. It's different kind of what I will take into consideration and what I won't take into consideration. So that's why I am on that.
I just feel like it's all about having that conversation with the kids, especially when the kids are older. If when the kids are younger, I think it's easier. But when the kids are older, it's something definitely a conversation that needs to be had, like big time, because there can be a confusion. They can feel like, the kids feel like, well, you choosing that person over me or stuff like that. I think it's you need to find a balance and boundaries for your kids and for your partner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There definitely has to be a balance.
Yeah. Balance and boundaries.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So the next video we're going to play is about, we'll see how it is.
Because this is something I don't condone, and I told him that I don't want nobody putting their hands on my daughter but me, because I'm the mother. So what makes you feel like you could do that?
Understood. First off, it was something mutual between me and the father, because your daughter was being disrespectful.
She could. Okay, this is my thing. My daughter's not disrespectful, and even if she was disrespectful, I told him to not let nobody no bitch, excuse me, but really not excuse me to put their hands on my daughter.
Okay, at the end of the day, your daughter's not disrespectful to you because you're her mother, and I guess the ways that she's learning, you're teaching her. However,
baby,
what
look,
I'm
look,
trying to tell you
it gotta
is
be
that
something
in my
that you
house,
said
where
to
I
her
pay bills,
for her
where
to
I
even
stay,
feel.
that it ain't gonna be tolerated.
Okay,
The child's
well, I'm
gonna
gonna say
stay in
this:
the child's
we
place.
can't talk together. We sitting together, but we can't talk together.
But what I'm telling you is valid, and I'm.
Okay, so why you let her put her hands on our daughter? Because you know what you mean what I'm doing here? I'm checking your wife because she feel like she got authority to put her hands on my daughter.
Let's stop it right there, because first off, she was being disrespectful.
How was she being disrespectful?
I gave her permission.
Why didn't you? No. Why didn't you discipline her? I'm not talking to you right now. Why didn't you discipline her? Because you the damn daddy.
Because I wasn't here.
Okay, well, next time call me or something. Because I don't condone that. You need to speak to me. I'm the one that birthed her because this is my daughter. He is. But look, if he's not here to discipline her, then you need to wait. Because
you just could have called me about this. You
don't answer the phone. You don't answer the phone. And this is what I have to do to get through to y'all. If I got to pull up and act the fool to get through to y'all because y'all want to touch my child, this is what I'm going to do.
It's my child too.
Okay, but if you are...
Well, Peggy, unmute yourself. I don't know where you got. Unmute yourself now. So I don't know why. But,
Yeah.
all right. But, here's my thought here. Here's my thought. There's a comment, I think, all in that video, they all should have to sit down and have a conversation. Like discipline. If I'm with someone and I have a child that stays with me a lot, like this, I shouldn't have to call my child's mother when your child's being disrespectful in my home.
Nah, we ain't gonna do that.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
We're gonna fix that. We're gonna fix that right then and there.
You know what I'm
Right
saying?
now. Yeah, we're gonna fix that.
And then what confused me, what fucked me up is she called her bitch for no reason, and then she was like, my daughter's not disrespectful. And then the lady was like, well, she might be disrespectful to you because you allow her to. But my thing this here is I'm not about to like, even when my son's mother, she dates someone, of course, before that person come around my child, I want to know who it is, of course, and I will have a conversation with that person. But if they live in that home, what can I do about it? As long as you're not abusing my child or disrespecting my child or abusing my child in any type of way, when it comes to discipline, that's a different thing.
I have to say this. I see it both ways. Here's the thing. I was raised by my grandmother. With that being said, my grandmother was a firm believer don't bring your child to my home. If you don't want your child disciplined. Because at the end of the day, your child's not going to come in my house and run over me. I don't care what they do at your home. I'm not going to beat anyone's child. However, I do feel like if that child gets out of line and like if my children are over and they all cutting up and I whoop my kid's ass, your child gonna get their ass whooped too. You don't have to beat a child, but you know how to tap that ass. I don't care if it's with an open hand. You're gonna know you're not gonna do that over here. Now here's the thing: if you don't want your child disciplined, don't bring it to my home.
Don't bring her.
Don't bring them to my home. And so at the end of the day, I was raised that way, and I believe on it. I have old values, but I do believe that everyone should sit down as a whole. I think that when you have a baby mama that's dating someone else, you have somebody you might be dating, what you should do is I think all four should get together and be like, listen, this is what should be done. Let the child know in front of the child. So then you don't have those issues. Because if I sit down with my significant other and his baby mother and vice versa, and we all come together as adults and have that conversation, listen, in front of the children. And I say that for this reason, because your children will play on your mind. They will run back and forth and they will say this, that, and that. I don't want to hear all this shit. I'm going to tell you straight up. If your child comes to my home, just like when my child comes to your home, if my child gets disrespectful, do not beat my child. You discipline my child correctly, the way you want me to discipline yours. They doing too much, you can tap their ass if they have gone to that point. Now, if it's just something small and minor, you tell them sit down somewhere, get on out your face, something. But then it's like, if they are being disrespectful just to the point where you about ready to rip your hair out, tap that ass. Because I'm telling you now, if your child in my house and they cutting up to where I'm ready to rip out my hair, I'm going to tap that ass. We're going to get it all together. So if I believe we come to that agreement all the adults involved, and you let that child know right there with all adults involved. Don't come running to me with that BS. If something is going on and you don't like what she said to you, you could talk to her about it, or to go to your dad. If the dad don't like whatever, vice versa. That way we can have it all together. Everybody knows everything that's going on. That way you can't have that child playing between you. I've had that happen.
They
When
sure
you
will
got
do.
kids
Okay,
playing in your face.
but now I'm gonna stop that for one moment. We're gonna talk about a reality.
Uh-huh.
Every parent, especially these new generations, are not mature enough
True.
to have these conversations today. Now I'm gonna go somewhere else with that too, because I am a single dad, and I've dated other women and had them around my child, and I've also, her mother's dated other guys or whatever, and they ain't been around my child to my knowledge, because my child's with me. However, with that said, with the generation that we see now, and I'm 50, a lot of these baby mamas leaving their kids with these dudes, these
Mm-hmm.
YNs, they killing them. They killing them.
Or
Yeah.
what? Or out? Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Molesting them, killing them, everything.
So for me right now, I'm gonna tell you how extreme mine is, and I want y'all to take a note to whoever hears this out here in the world. My mother's 70 years old. I love my mother. My real name is Lamont Dawson, and I got a picture of my mother on my Facebook. Where I was with her this weekend. I have an uncle that's older. He's the eldest out of my family, and if I'm not mistaken, he's a convicted child predator. And he was standing at my mother's house, and God be my witness. I told my mother, I stopped letting my daughter, let my mother keep my daughter, but I told my mother, and I mean this with everything in my heart, that if he did something to my daughter, I'm going to do it to you and him. I want you to understand what I'm telling you. That's my mother. But my love for Layla Marie Pearl Dawson is unconditional. And I told my mother, I would take your life, and I'm going to torture that motherfucker. And that's unconditional for my child. So therefore, when we talk about this, I'm single a lot, or whatever the case may be, because she is a girl. And there's so many things that happens to little girls. And knock on wood, I can say right now to this date, my daughter has never been touched by anybody, because I'm still free.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that we don't take lightly with children.
Right.
I also have a son that I had a female help me raise my son, and we had to do. Now we was on the same sheet of music to a certain extent because she had a daughter, and when I first met her, her daughter might have been 9 years old, 10 years old. She was still making her bed, and I said, "Where they do that at?" And keep in mind, I'm a military father. I'm a military man, but I was also raised by that same woman I was telling y'all about, who taught me. She told you one time, she didn't tell you no more. The next time you're figuring it out with a combination. But I don't whoop my youngest baby now, Layla. I don't really whoop her, but I do put her to work, to change and chastise her.
Mm-hmm.
But we get it's just something. But what you said, Bless, that is that's adults. But a lot of people today don't have the mental capacity to do that.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Everybody's still living their toxicity.
Say it, but truth.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta say this. As two different parents, this Friday, and not knowing one another per se. It was amazing when you meet somebody like you, Bless, and I mean that has the mental capacity to have them kind of conversation.
Mm-hmm.
It is truly a blessing. I just want to say that for
Well,
anybody
let's
who
be,
don't know that.
I'm gonna let Peggy speak, okay, but let's be honest. Most of these baby dads and baby mamas are bitter, and they are moving in how they moving and acting in toxicity in their own bad behaviors.
Mm-hmm.
Immature.
And that's where the kids are learning it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Most definitely. What's your input, Peggy?
Of the video.
No, just what we're talking
Oh.
about. About the other parent, if your child's with the child's with his father, with her father, and he dating someone, he's serious with that person, they live together. About what is your input about them disciplining your child?
That because my thing is that out of all 5 of my kids, it's 2 of them I had to get physical with. Some of them, the other ones I talked to and they did it. So it's like if the ones that I had to get physical with was younger and they were somewhere, I would tell the father, I was like, you already know how we handle this. So that means, and we'll have that conversation too. How we just don't go right in, just taking a belt, just swinging, woo, woo, woo woo. It's certain levels before we even get to that point, before we do become a physical. Well, me anyway. So I would make sure that I set down them rules the same way we did it under our roof. Just make sure you respect me as if I was there, just like I'm gonna respect you too. I'm not gonna, because these are our kids that we created together.
Right.
So yeah, so that means I expect you to protect them like you did when we was under the same roofs, and vice versa. I'm gonna protect them because there's certain ways a girl got to be protected than a boy, but nowadays both of them need to be protected in all different kind of ways.
Okay. But a question about how do you feel about like your child at her father's house and his significant other discipline your child? How you feel about that?
Is it physical or like punishment or taken away? It doesn't
Discipline.
matter.
It doesn't matter. Just discipline.
Now the physical part, I will probably like have to ask like what led up to that and how was it? Because I'm just basing that off me, how I discipline my kids. I don't always go for the physical. I never had to. So if someone's telling me they had to be physical, I'm going to ask what happened
Okay.
and what went up to that.
But I'm gonna say this too: having 4 different children and raising 3 different children. Um, what works for one don't work for the other.
Very true.
And here's another thing that I've seen, being a black male, when you're dealing with black women and they trying to beat, I'm gonna beat the shit out of this little boy, 'cause I'm gonna make him tough, and that don't make him tough. Like right now, I got a 16-year-old daughter, and she's very intelligent. I mean, highly intelligent. Do not get me wrong, cause she's 16, that I won't take and use corporal punishment if I have to. However, I like to make her work. I like to take that time away. But not only, I'm not telling you that you're going to say I'm a leader. There's a difference between a leader and a boss. But I'm not telling you because I'm your daddy, you're going to do it. Well, you're going to do that regardless. However, like I think it was last weekend, I had out there cutting grass. But guess who was out there cutting grass from the get-go? I was. Now, I've heard people say, well, man, you treat her like a boy, you this and that. So let me tell you something. Structure, consistency. Michael Jordan had structure. Kobe Bryant had structure. Serena and Venus had structure. You get where I'm going? Michael, think about what I'm saying now.
But
Tiger Woods had structure.
Yeah.
I'm more about structure too. You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely about structure, but it's all, like I said, it's all depends on how that child's raised is gonna act in another person's home. That's how I see it. So if you hold a certain standard with your kids and they know, and
they ain't gonna do it.
You know what I'm saying?
They're not gonna do it.
Exactly. Because what I'm telling you, raised by my grandparents, you knew when you go to someone's home, you sit your ass down, act like you got some sense. Because my grandmother was a firm believer, wherever you show your ass is where I'm going to show my ass. And I'm not getting embarrassed. And she was not playing. So with that being said, and then I also tell you all the time, my grandfather was a Mason. It was just things you wasn't going to do. It's disrespect, you're not going to do it. Right. So with that being said, when we was told something once, we did not have to be told twice. Wherever you went, you act like you had some damn sense.
Where you act up, you got straightened up. But
and I'm trying to tell you, that's what I'm saying. Where you
but here's what we're talking about. We come from a generation where we had grandparents. We had people to teach us. We had elders. Now you got kids raising kids.
Yes, I agree.
They don't have a bigger mama no more.
And
now. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Peggy. No, you go, Peggy.
And back then you had it. Your parent can just look at you and you already knew what they said.
Absolutely.
You knew the deal. Absolutely. You knew better.
But see, nowadays, if you see that's the thing. What you said there, our grandparents back then, they just looked at us and we know what's up.
Absolutely.
See, that's the thing. All these parents trying to be their kids' friend. You need it's not. They say in the study, they said that type of thing is trauma to a kid, is abusive to a kid. Guess what? Yes, you have to have some type of fear in them. You got to put it comes hand in hand. It's respect and fear into them.
In structure.
You know what I'm saying?
And the bottom line is structure.
Study shows
Absolutely.
say that's
structure.
You know what I'm saying?
And structure though, dog.
Yeah, I know. There's structure. But that's why these kids are the way they are now.
And don't forget respect, because that's the biggest issue.
That's why I said respect goes into go. It goes hand in hand. You
That's
know,
the biggest issue.
And they have so much other stuff that can influence them. They have phones, social media, and they have all this other stuff that we do not have back then.
That's true.
But you know what it does come down to, Peggy. I'm 50 years old. I'm 6 inches taller than my mother. I'm 100 pounds heavier than my mother right now. And it don't matter what I've done or what I'm going to do. It comes down to I can lift my mother on my head and dump on her head. It's respect. The bottom line with my mother is called respect. And I knew that when I left outside of my mother's home that I better not act up because it was respect. It was discipline.
And
it was structure.
I get that. And I get that part.
Here's what we got now. Think about it. It's a reel that comes on where a man grabbed a little boy. The little boy gonna stand up to the man in school. Black kid, black man, and that black man jacked that kid up and slammed his ass down in the chair. And the first thing that the black, she was black. That's all you had to do, listen to the voice. Well, you shouldn't be. And the problem that we have today in our society, I'm gonna step on some toes here, black women, is we have black women trying to raise black boys, and they're not men. Women are not men. They don't think the way we think. If that little boy would have got jacked up earlier, and everybody's different. But because you get a lot of these boys is whooping these women today. You know, they're sassy. They act like some little bitches. I'm gonna call it like it is. And they ain't got no discipline. You know, mom, they don't make them do nothing. They don't make them cut grass. Don't make them clean the room. They give them the damn world. Discipline. A lot of our kids today lack discipline.
A lot of these boys
That's
are
true.
These little girls, but then we got the mothers that's supposed to be leading by example. They trying to be with the kid. You know, you got the 40-year-old mother trying to be with the 20-year-old kid or whatever it may be. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Together.
Yeah, y'all know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, in the club trying to be their best friend. I get it.
I had a female. We was talking. You know, just generally talking, trying to get to know each other. I quit talking to her. I'm not my child's friend. I'm her daddy. That daddy encompasses a whole lot. And I want my daughter to come to me with anything. But I'm not my child's friend. In no shape, form, or fashion am I her friend. I'm her daddy.
Right.
And that means she can cry on my shoulder. You can let me know what's going on with you. I'm going to tell you the truth of what I know. And it might not be what you want to hear. But that encompasses all that. And there's going to be times that even though I'm going to correct you, but I still got to show you love. And what I was saying before, my phone hung up on me. So when I went out this weekend, going back to that just for a little simple thing, she asked me, who did I go out with? And she wanted to know about. And I told her it wasn't your place. You're 16. Stay in your place. I'm not asking you to choose between me and your mother. But right now, this is not your business. Because it ain't nothing. You know, it's not nothing. If it becomes something, when we cross that path, we'll cross it. But that was putting that child back in that spot of your child. Now get out of my face now.
Right.
But and I could see it in her face that it broke her heart. But like I explained to now the difference between our parents, I would have got the hell knocked out of me. But the thing was, I explained, baby, I'm not asking you to choose over your mother. That's your mother. But what we're not going to do, and what I'm going to establish right here, right now, I'm not going to have that drama where your mother's going to bring this woman, if we get on that level, at bullshit. Ain't going to happen.
Right.
Now, down the road, yeah. Hey, it goes exactly what you're saying. Because I'm going to tell you the truth. I want that. Because you know something, I can be the best dad in the world. But I don't know shit about no female's feelings. Not a damn thing. I'm not a girl. I'm not a mom, and I don't understand, regardless how I try to understand. And my daughter needs that. I'm not taking nothing from her mother. But her mother right now, when you're dealing with certain things in life, when you're dealing with addiction issues, I'm going to say it just like the fuck it is. She's not mentally capable of showing my daughter. My daughter don't know what it is to be a woman. My mother, love my mother to death, don't care who say it. But she's not capable right now, in my opinion, to teach my daughter to be the woman I want her to be. And I don't have that. And I got 2 older daughters. But I didn't raise my 2 older daughters. And I don't have the first clue about being a little damn girl, but I'm trying.
That's the only
Right.
matter you try, because
That's all you can do.
it ain't no book to this. It just you learn,
It's
you grow as
trial
you
and
go.
error.
There you go.
Trial and error.
Yeah.
And
You got,
I mean, and it's just it's hard to not have that woman there for that child. But what do? You want to keep being negative and toxic, and
Right.
all the other things to go with that, or you got to draw a line in the sand.
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
You
when you
have to
think
break the
about it,
cycle somewhere.
hey, when you think
Yeah.
about it, and this is real America. This is Lamont Dawson's story. One moment you go to jail, the next moment the daughter see the mama going to jail.
Mm-hmm.
This is real shit. It ain't
Yeah.
makeup shit.
Yeah.
I was on level mug shots or whatever the fuck it was called.
Me too.
I'm out there, but I'm out there cutting grass, and the motherfucking them whiskey poppers come up there. But yeah, man, these kids, we gotta do better, America. We have to.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Finish what you're saying.
We as a black community, as men, as black men, black mothers, listen to me. You're not a man. You don't think nothing like a man. Let that father, that positive role model male, teach that little boy how to be a man and be the man that you want him to be.
This is true.
As long as he's positive and he's doing what he's
Yeah,
supposed to do.
he got to be a man now. He got to be a man. He can't be no boy.
Now, like I said, I got one more video after this before we end it up. I'm gonna ask each one of y'all to give me one. I'm gonna ask y'all a question, and then I want y'all to give me just one of the deal breaker when it's forming a family. What would dissipate the relationship? So I'm gonna ask you first, Miss Bless. What would deal breaker for you when you're forming a blended family to make you split?
A deal breaker for me is being disrespectful and and untrustworthy.
Okay.
You have to be trustworthy.
This is true. Same thing of you, Mr. Sarge.
Are you talking about with the child or with the woman? With the significant other?
It all comes into what is the deal breaker? Like if you're dating a woman that has kids and you have kids and y'all trying to bring your family together, what is a deal breaker? If it be with the woman or the kids, what is the deal breaker?
Shit, respect. Respect. I can't deal with no badass kids. You want me not to fuck with you? Excuse my language, but I'm just gonna cut it just like it is. You got some badass kids. What the fuck I need you for? Now see, I'm at a different level, just like you and just like Bless. I got my own shit. I got my own home, so I don't need you for it. Because a lot of brothers endure a lot of shit because they ain't got their own place to stay. All women, all women per se. I mean, let's talk about right here, right now. Let's be all the way honest. I'm sorry, I'm going off into it. How many women are going to endure some shit they would never endure, but they want a Thanksgiving and they want a Christmas for their kids? Hello, America.
Yeah, that's true. And vice versa.
And that definitely vice versa. Definitely.
Deal with all kind of crap just because they need a roof over their head and a hot meal.
At the end of the day, for me, if you got respect from that mother, and that mother demands that child give you that respect. Now, keep in mind, respect's two ways.
Absolutely.
It's a two-way street. Because I'm gonna tell you once again, I just told you, I don't know shit about kids, about little girls, but I got a 16-year-old daughter, and if it went there, she got a 16-year-old daughter, and our daughters are similar in the way they act, but respect. But I think it's instilled in kids at a young age.
Yeah, I don't know how true it is, but they say from for when it comes to the kid, child. From zero, I guess from zero, from
0 to 5,
from 1, from 0 to
1
5,
to 5, 1 to 7,
that's
something like that.
That's when it comes to that. That's after 5 is where who they going to be.
Yeah, once they become 5 years old, they are already who they're going to be. They have already learned how to either be respectful, mindful, or they've learned how to be liars and vindictive. By that point, I'm telling you, by the time they're 5, if you think a 5-year-old won't look you right in your eyes and lie to you and store some shit, you are crazy. Because they will.
Yeah, they will. Most definitely will.
You know, I've had to check my child. You know, I know her and her mother have their secrets. And I know we don't know everything. But I know it's crazy when me and her mother's had a disagreement. she'll be like, Layla, do you want me to tell him? And I nip that shit in the ass right then and there. And my nipping ass is, I don't give a fuck what the fuck she did. This ain't got nothing to do with her. It's about you. And I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not in a debating mood. One or two things. You're going to do what I'm asking you. How you going to fucking, you got to go. And I'm not talking about, I know it sounds stupid, but just people with addiction, man. That's what I mean by that. You know, addiction. Somebody's drunk, highly intoxicated, highly disrespectful, highly don't give a fuck about themselves, let alone you and your shit. And they think they're going to stay in your place and talk sideways to you, and they won't even go and sit their stupid ass down. Come on, man. Where they do that at? Then, when you highly intoxicated, all of a sudden, you want to try to become a disciplinarian. Bitch, I wish you would. I'm going to tell like, hey, y'all take it the way you want to, America. I don't care. I'd said it in court. Bitch, if you put your hands on my child, I'm going to beat the living fuck out of you. And I'm not whooping no woman. But that'll be that line in the sand with that baby.
Well, no, we don't condone violence. But you take, this is a disclaimer, we really don't condone violence. But, you take it, y'all grown, you do however you want. We're going to go to the last video tonight. And I definitely need y'all to start sharing, commenting, everything about this show. Tell us what y'all like. Tell what y'all want to talk about. We're going to our next video.
Their family. On the day a couple gets married, on a scale of 1 to 10, how motivated are they to loving each other and making their family family? Okay? Because you're not born family, you become family. There's coupleness and there's familyness. And familyness is a 5 to 7 year journey for most blended families. Okay? But the couple wants it sooner rather than later, and their motivation is a 9 or a 10 on a 10 scale to make that happen. Well, children are something less than 9. Now, there are some kids who are 4 or 3 who are an 8.5. They're right there, super high, highly open. Young kids just tend to have this big window of attachment in their heart, and they let everybody in through that window. But then there's 12-year-olds, 16-year-olds, and 25-year-olds if you get married with adult children, and 30-year-olds who have their own life, kids, and a mortgage. And the last thing they need is spend time with you. Like their scale is a 2. So if you get married to somebody and they got 3 kids, it's very likely there's a 7, there's a 5, and there's a 2 somewhere in those 3 kids. Okay. So the 7's going to warm up to you quickly. You find middle ground. You find it. Their pace is quick. The 5 is sometimes, yes, I'm warm, and sometimes I'm cold. Sometimes I'm warm, sometimes I'm cold. And over time, there's progress. The 2 just doesn't need you. It's not personal. I'm 19, I'm headed to college. I don't need to bond with a new stepdad. Like, why would I even need to do that? I've got a dad. I don't need you in my life. Your mom's decision, not my decision. Like, that's a reality.
I can see that. I can see that.
I agree with you.
Yeah. Yeah, most definitely I can agree with that. Like you said, bonding and especially bonding with a new person, it takes time. Especially with kids, it takes
Absolutely.
So it has to be, like I said, on both ends, especially with adult children. It has to be respect on both ends, and also respect and communication, open communication, clear communication, honesty, and transparency.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of times,
you're not gonna really focus your time on the older people.
Nah.
It's like they were saying, they're grown. They have their own lives. It's like either they like them, they don't. It don't matter. They ain't got to live.
Come
with
talk
them.
to me.
Your
Come talk
main
to me. You
focus
don't.
is
You don't.
But I'm gonna go somewhere else. I'm gonna even go deeper than that. My second marriage, I didn't marry your mama. I'm gonna give respect because she's a woman and she's your mother. But I didn't marry your mother. I married you.
Absolutely.
And my second wife couldn't put her mother in check. And like I told her mother, you're not gonna come to the house and I pay the bills and tell me shit.
Right.
Because I don't disrespect you. And her mother, my wife, that was our divide. My wife at that time would not check. I never understood why her twin sister didn't fuck with her mother. But my wife wouldn't put her mom in check. Honestly. And that was our dividing. What you call that dagger?
Mm-hmm.
And I was coming in with I think a 13-year-old daughter and a 2-year-old son. And I'm gonna be honest with you, her 2-year-old son, Marcus was his name. He was a hellion. You ever seen that show Nanny? But once again, she hadn't put no structure with that child. And she had helped with her parents, with her oldest daughter, with her daughter. And like I explained to her, the only difference between your son and I is the price of our toys. Now, I didn't whoop her son. But like I told her, I was more strong-willed than he was. And he will break before I break. Something simple. Putting him in the bed. He's going to show out for a while. He's going to fall out, act a fool. I got him. I'm not going to hurt your child. I'm not talking about putting him in the bed stern. He come back in the bedroom, you pick him up, put him back in the bed. It was really easy. Brother.
And so I wasn't going to play this next video because I was
Go ahead.
But since Lamont said something, and I say, you know what, I'm going to play this before we end this. Because when he said something, it's basically almost the same thing.
When your kids get married, they are not joining your family. They are starting a new family. And so what happens is early on, if your parents aren't healthy or don't understand that, they're, oh, it's so great, we're getting a daughter. No, you're not. Your son is getting a wife. You can love her as a daughter, but ultimately, like we've told our kids, you're going to do things differently because you're doing your own family. You may not be around for the holidays because your family may decide to do things differently. A lot of times as parents, we'll think like, well, they're going to make mistakes. Well, that's marriage. We made mistakes. We're still making mistakes. And so the grace that God has for us, he has for them.
Yeah.
That's all.
That's real.
That's real shit.
It is.
So, but I definitely like everybody who joined tonight and put their input. And I mean, we're gonna do this every Monday. I'm also gonna send out another, to asking people, our fans, to send out topics for us, because we need to be more interactive with the our audience and see what they thoughts and how they feel and see what they would like to talk about. So I need y'all audience out there start sending in the things you'll like to talk about, and we're definitely talking because we love having an uncomfortable conversation, and we'll give it to you raw. Like, share, and comment. Hit us up on Monday. Watch us. Show Lights Podcast. We out of here.